Hi, I'm Al, and I'm here today with Dan from our advice team to talk about if you're in the fortunate position to come in some additional money, whether you should be putting that in your pension, ISA, or paying down your mortgage. There are benefits and drawbacks to each. So Dan, let's start with pensions. What are the relative benefits and drawbacks of pensions?
So it's a really good question. So when people are considering paying into pensions, they should be aware of the benefits of doing so. So the main one, which is tax relief. So for £100 to be contributed into that pension, it would only cost a basic rate taxpayer £80 because HMRC will add that further £20, making it £100. If you're a higher or additional rate taxpayer, that £100 contribution will cost you even less. It's also really important to consider the amount of money which your employer may contribute into that pension as well. So if you make an additional pension contribution, could your employer almost top that up or even match that? In terms of pension drawbacks, it's the accessibility side of things that people need to be aware of. So especially customers who are younger need to be considering, are they in a position financially where they can tie that money up effectively until age 55 or 57? And the investment risk side of things is also a really important one to consider as well. And that's the fact that when money is placed into the pension, it can rise and fall over time.
And when we think about an ISA, what would be the relative benefits and drawbacks of an ISA?
So the main benefits of the ISA, it reduces that accessibility risk that the pensions have. So broadly speaking, most ISAs will allow people to withdraw money from that as and when they need to, which is great. And also the other benefits of the ISA is that money can be taken at any particular age. In terms of the drawbacks of the ISA, the limits do tend to be a little bit lower than the pension allowances, so you can pay less into ISAs generally than you can do pensions. But also the other drawback of the ISA would be that no tax relief is added to that in the same way that it is in a pension.
And then when thinking about a mortgage, I know for many people paying down a mortgage gives them peace of mind. Is there anything else that you need to think about?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think there's two key parts to this one. Number one is what's the rate of interest that you're actually paying on your mortgage? And the second part is there actually any penalties for making additional payments on your mortgage as well? So we need to consider both of those. It's not going to be right for everybody. I think psychologically people like to overpay the mortgage, so they've had it drilled into them from a young age to save for a house, buy a house and then finally pay off the house. So that's quite hard for some people to sort of get their heads around. Things to be aware of, the benefits of overpaying that mortgage is all around the slowing down of that compound interest, so your mortgage could actually cost you less over the longer term by making those payments. The drawbacks of this though do tend to be that in this day and age, making mortgage overpayments, you are almost committing that money to the mortgage, and it's quite difficult to take that money back off the mortgage if you needed it in the future.
So it sounds like there might not be a clear winner. Is that right?
You're absolutely right, and what we tend to find is that for the majority of people who either receive a lump sum of money or have some spare money at the end of each month that they are looking to do something with, that normally it's a combination of these three options. So it's around balancing your short-term goals against long-term priorities, and that can help you understand the differences between ISAs and pensions. And it's also again around that accessibility piece. So if you do want to overpay your mortgage, we would be saying you need to check the interest rate on that. Also saying that you need to be checking if there's any early repayment charges, because the last thing that you want is to be penalised for making those payments.
Thanks, Dan. And if you're watching and wondering what might be the best for you, whether it be a pension, ISA, or paying down your mortgage, the clear message is that it's all about balance and thinking through what might be right for you. If you'd like to review your situation some more, looking at allowances, contributions and goals, a great place to go for further support is the L&G app. For more information, please go to legalandgeneral.com/pension savings.